going to be Beast against Monster. The Beast will win. He's a legend. He's one of the true greats of the sport.
You're a good fight. I don't do much talking in the ring.
Yeah, I want to fight this person. I want to fight that person. You never hear none of them say I want to fight Winky Wright. I ain't never been known to quit, and Paul ain't never been known to quit. So somebody gonna have to give, and it ain't gonna be me.
Paul Williams, who's not necessarily avoided. He's been feared. Bob mentioned it. There hasn't been a challenge that I've known Winky Wright to ever turn down. And I know certainly money never interfered with him turning down any major fight. And the proof is in the pudding. Look who he's beat. One of the greatest performances we've had the last few years was Shane Mosley against Antonio Margarito. And we all know what that did to Shane's reputation. I mean, he was marvelous. And it's another fighter that never turns down a challenge, except for Paul Williams. I thought that was, I just threw that in. But we know what Winky did to Shane. And it was a tough fight on our end to go out there and say, okay, let's take our 147 pounder, who can still make 147 today. So no matter how big Paul Williams is, no matter how long his reach is, no matter how much he's going to weigh on April 11th, he's a 147 pounder. And we know that Winky is formidable for anyone near the 160 pound, 154 pound, 147 pound division. And it's one of the reasons why Paul and George and Al Heyman, ourselves, wanted this fight, because we know he has been. There is no one that compares to him that has been the most avoided man in boxing in the last 10 years. On the other hand, we've got Paul Williams, who's not necessarily avoided. He's been feared. And one of the reasons why, out of necessity, we've moved up to 154 pounds, and we've moved up to 260 pounds. So we congratulate Winky, and we agree with Golden Boy and Richard that anyone that's going to say a disparaging word about Winky Wright is saying it because there's some type of line that he just wants to carry out that he thinks works in that particular phrase. But he went out there with Jermaine Taylor, a hot 160-pound world champion. A lot of people felt Winky won that. The cut in the Hopkins fight certainly didn't do him justice. So this is a big fight, and one of the things that we've really are concentrating on is to show how great Paul Williams is. We expect a tough fight. I don't want to give you the canned comments from that. All offense with a very strong defense, but it's going to be an exciting fight because Paul Williams isn't in anything other than an exciting fight. And Winky and Paul, being the great champions they are, I believe we're going to put on a great show. And anyone that doesn't think it's going to be great, because I've spoken to a few reporters that have said that it won't be the most scintillating fight, I disagree with them. And the proof in the pudding will be April 11th. Throughout the years, close to 30 years of promoting fighters, I've had some fighters that people were hesitant to fight, but never at the level that Paul Williams has been. Especially when we're talking about the welterweight division. 6'2", and I think that's if he's kind of hunched over a little. I think he's a good 6'3", but I always kind of kept that down at the 147-pound level. I think going into the right fight, we're going to call him 6'4", if you don't mind, Winky. A reach of over 82 inches. Now, just to put it in perspective, Vladimir Klitschko, our heavyweight champion, or at least one of them, has a reach that is an inch shorter than Paul Williams. This is the type of fight Paul Williams wanted and is going to take advantage of, because Winky is one of those named fighters that has to be one of the great names in the last 10 years. He's done it all. And Paul Williams is going to go out there on April 11th and show his dominance in today's world of who the best fighter is from 140 to 160 pounds. Now, again, I'm not discounting Winky Wright at all. I'm not talking as a promoter, although I'm a promoter. I'm just talking, I know Paul Williams, okay? And come April 11th, he's going to make history, and I believe have just a great performance, and I can see this fight not going the distance. I want to bring him up now. He's called the Punisher, and there's a reason why he's called the Punisher, because that's what he does inside that ring. Paul Williams.
You know, I'm just blessed to be here, you know what I'm saying, getting a big fight with Winky Wright. You know, he got a big name, you know, I want to put down my legacy. You know, I know he can be trying his best, you know what I'm saying, get me out of, you know what I'm saying, keep his winning streak going, but I can't allow that. You know, I'm just going to fight my heart like I always do, you know, and I'm game for it. You know, everybody knows my track record, what I've been doing. So, you know, it's going to be a good fight. I don't do much talking. I do my talking in the ring. And I just hope everybody come out and have a good time, because I'm going to have a good time.
54 wins, 4 losses. Victories over Sugar Shane Mosley, Tito Trinidad, Fernando Vargas. You know what? I like it. He's the underdog. Bernard Hopkins, Kelly Pavlik. Bernard was the underdog. Sugar Shane Mosley, Tony Margarito. Sugar Shane Mosley was the underdog. Winky Wright, Paul Williams. Winky Wright is the underdog. Let me tell you, and I told you with Hopkins, and I told you with Mosley, this is the year of the legends. And that's what he is. He's a legend. And he's going to turn back the clock. And he's going to stop that young lion with the reach longer than the heavyweight champion of the world. It's going to be beast against monster. The beast will win. He's a legend. He's one of the true greats of the sport. And he's not afraid to take on any challenge. Make sure you watch that fight, because I agree with Dan. It will be an exciting night, and Winky Wright will be on a mission, just like Bernard Hopkins was, and Sugar Shane Mosley was. He is motivated more than ever, and he knows how important this fight is for him, his career, and his legacy. He will be ready. It is a pleasure for me now to introduce to you the former undisputed junior middleweight champion of the world, Winky Wright.
You know, everybody, every time they see me, they ask me, why you not fighting? You know what I mean? And once again, I keep telling them, it's not me. You know, nobody wants to fight. You keep hearing these fighters on these internet chats and this and that, you know, yeah, I want to fight this person, I want to fight that person. You never hear none of them say, I want to fight Winky Wright. It was hard. Everybody keeps saying, I don't want the money, I want too much money, I want this, I want that. It ain't that. I'm offering fighters, ain't even in the same caliber fighters that I am, more money than I'm going to get, just to make the fight, just to make these fights so HBO can be the great network that they are. But as you can see, these fighters step up, from Pavlik, whoever. You know, we even offered to fight Calzaghe. I go to England, whatever. So, you know, it was great for me to see Paul say he wanted to fight me. You know, and Paul is a very difficult fighter to fight. Let's get that straight first and foremost. Because he definitely throws a lot of punches, and he's tall, awkward, got a long reach. But you know, I think fighters of today, they want the easy fights. They don't want to be like the old fighters of the old days and go fight whoever want to fight me. You know what I mean? So I'm looking forward to that challenge. You know, I'm looking forward to pushing myself to that next level to show everybody that I'm not just a defensive fighter. You can't win a fight on defense alone. And I don't know how many fighters y'all seen just stand there and get hit and win a fight. So, you know, yes, I do got a very good defense. And, you know, I will need it because we're going to throw a lot of punches. But best to believe I got a very good offense too. And, you know, a lot of people think I can't punch. But I tell everybody, I don't know how many fighters y'all seen me fight, how many rush me, how many of them fighters y'all see just running that Winky Wright? None. cause I can punch. I don't go for the knockout. It's a sport. It's a you know, it's a skill. It's an art to this, and you know that's what I like about Paul. He throw a lot of punch. He work on his art and his craft. So it's gonna be good to go in here and put my talent up against his talent. And I just can't wait for it. You know what I mean? It's been almost 2 years, so I definitely think they'll put me at a little disadvantage. But you know, that's what true champions do. They overcome every obstacle put in front of them. And you know, April 11th, you know, I hope everybody tune in, and if you can't make it to the Mandalay Bay, make it, because you're going to see two fighters go at it. And I ain't never been known to quit, and Paul ain't never been known to quit, so somebody going to have to give, and it ain't going to be me.